Okay, so you've got the new gizmo in there. You've got that spring which goes like that. Oops, that goes through the spring into there, and then the spring goes through the other side. Not that spring, but it goes through a hole. I don't know if you can see that. Hang on a sec. There it is, you can just see it. Where's my screwdriver? That one. Come on, there we go. So that goes through a hole, comes out. So there is the hole. There. And you put that damn pin through, which I've now lost. There we go. Put that through. And then this one, this is a complete unit. This actually had snapped off. Yeah, so that had snapped off. And also, you can see where it's snapped off here. There's the other piece. So that's the bit that has snapped off there, which has been replaced. And now I just need to put the circlip around here somehow without it all falling to pieces, which I'm going to use these. I think it'll probably go flying off in a direction and I'll never see it again, but I'll give it a go. There we go, that appears to be on. So you've got that spring and then you've got that spring, and if you twist that, the catch opens. This catch opens in and out. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be a circlip for that one. So this piece needs to line up with this piece, which goes in there, I think, like that. So as you turn it over, hold on to that, because that will fall out otherwise. Turn it over, and then that slots in there, and then hopefully that will line up with that. Yeah, and then you just put the screws back in here. So that, hold on, make sure that piece there goes behind that, otherwise it will just slide out. That's got to go behind that catch, which actually one of the legs is broken on mine. That leg is slightly broken, but so anyway, if you, let me just zoom out. If you do this, that turns that lever, but in order for that lever to go back, which then turns the catch, but that lever now needs to go back. So there's a spring here. I don't know which way round it goes, but find out by trial and error. That needs to go up there to pull it back. So that you do that, pulls it back, like so. And that's it. Hopefully that works. Just need to try it out with a key. There is the other side. As you can see, it's pulling the catch up. So it appears that my key, my ignition key, does not actually work on this lock. Something must have been swapped at some point in the last 31 years. And it doesn't work. So I just need to make sure that I don't try and use it. But at the end of the day, it's still functioning. Just can't lock it. The door is back on. Let's try it out. Boom. And open. result. Before I put this back, I'm just going to tidy it up so there's no sharp edges on it, so that I can easily get my hand up it in the future. Alright, there we go. So, until I find another one of these to buy, I'm going to put this back, and I might just cut a plate as a temporary base, and that is that. And then that little light switch has to go through that little hole here. These also need to go through these slits. So that just leaves these, which go through here. One there and one there. And we'll put that back on, and then that little light switch like that. As you'll know if you took it off. Can't see because my flash is on, but it's flashing on and off. And I just need to stick them in there. But before I do that, I'm going to put this cover on. There we go. I'm just going to leave it like that, as I do intend to replace this. So it's working.